And we're back with Richard Reviews. Today we are reviewing a book for richardreviews.com/GriffinChestnut here on YouTube. Today's book that Richard has for us, and the piece that Richard will be reviewing for us himself, is of course Who Can Hold the Sea? The U.S. Navy in the Cold War, 1945 to 1960, by James D. Hornfischer. This is the New York Times best-selling author of The Fleet at Flood Tide, and this is the advanced uncorrected proof. Richard received this in 2014, and he read it in the same year, and this was the advanced screening, the advanced carbon copy collective gift that he received from being a part of a premium membership. Richard, of course, himself is a premium membership person. He has Premium Express, and he's subscribed to premium subscriptions, in which last Thursday Richard talked about it briefly in the video. This is Richard's personal piece, which he held in his collection for quite some time. This is a Richard performance piece, as you can tell. This is an official Richard piece that we're going to get into. This is the official Richard piece, and this is Richard's personal piece. This is the piece, the copy that he received. He does a lot of online reviews. You can click the link in the description for his full, unadulterated, unedited script, in which he reviewed this thoroughly with his acronyms for each chapter. With that, of course, Richard, it comes a review of the piece. Now, Richard is a well-respected man in the literary concept idea simulation of community. So a lot of authors, such as James D. Hornfischer, who are sending out their pieces, will most famously send out their pieces to most famous and well-respected all-around reviewers, such as Richard himself. Richard has done reviews on the 4chan account, on Random B, and he can't explain why, but he does fantastic review work for the literary community. With that being said, Richard was fortunate enough to get a copy of this at one of the conventions that Richard went to back in 2014, and he was able to get a copy of this. Now, James D. Hornfischer's team, of course, wanted Richard's professional review, which he uploaded to his blog, and he then forwarded over to his team. As for the piece itself, we're not going to get too much into the actual condition of this piece, considering the fact that it's an advanced proof. That is also irrelevant to the fact if it ever does hit publication, whether or not the tidiness of the synchronicity will be used to the genetic abnormalities of the piece at hand. The story inside this piece is a dedicated atrocity. In Richard's words, he feels that this is a weak representation of what, in fact, could be the ultimate cling point of this piece. So, Richard gives this piece 2 thumbs down for his reviewers. He hopes that the author, James D. Hornfischer, takes his admiration and his collective consciousness to take into account the nature of this piece and how it can be improved for the future. Richard does see some potential in this piece. He just feels that Hornfischer has some undelighted pseudonym and some Christian background which needs to be approached with specific rules for the structure in which it's built. And Richard holds dear to that. Richard is a man of God. Richard lives in the upstate New York region, in a small town near the town of Schenectady, New York, in the upstate region of North America. He does a lot of camping and electronic disposal activities, including building electrical conduits and flood designs. As for his main hobby, it remains caterpillar fishing and night hawking slugging, which is a combination of the reproduction improving throughout fitness and diversity throughout his region. Of course, with all that being said, Richard does not need any more praise for his intelligent experience through his life. He has maintained a background of collectible ideas, which can be found internally, resolving the disputes in the court of law, with useless officials and personal rights being a prerogative instinctive to true beauty and love, seeking harmony with the infinite cancer on earth. That is not to say he doesn't believe in the necessary conspiracy theory throughout the world. Richard does watch the occasional InfoWars Alex Jones on YouTube and finds that his crackdown throughout the resistance movement of the United States of America is liberating to the least. Life is fresh, crack is whack. And according to Richard, it was a very special Christmas. These are all New World orders that are called by many to the Ten Commandments of the Antichrist. And these are separate plant and green veins that circulate through the chorus field of the synonym miraculous constipation. These can hold several layers of feces in the rectum, in which the sphincter is unable to gastrate or have a chemical imbalance, in which these genes cannot control the expressiveness, in which the blowhorn cannot constipate its rectal dysfunction. This is, of course, made from 100% fresh, non-from concentrate juice, pineapple juice, 100%, made with pure vitamin C and castration oil. Now, as for this piece, Hornfischer really did screw up quite a bit. And Richard did not enjoy this piece, nor can he say he will ever read it again, or will he be contacting Hornfischer after this review. This is the premium copy, as you can see, the advanced uncorrected proof, not for sale. So Richard got this at a bargain, considering the fact that it was, in layman's terms, given to him just for his professional review, which again is uploaded in the description down below. As for the piece itself, Richard didn't have many great things to say about it. He felt that Hornfischer dropped the ball pretty hard with this. A lot of it is bland, a lot of the characters fall flat, a lot of the setting is blank, and the ultimate ending is a little horrid in an unconstitutional way. As for the piece, it's a soft cover, as you can tell. It's got pretty good bend. The condition's not finalized, you can tell on the side. This is the pre-sale audit, and even the back has no diagram at all. We do have the price that the piece will come out. Of course, even if Richard enjoyed this piece, he still thinks this is high, so this is unbelievably overpriced for this piece. And here's all the information that has to do with the actual piece itself. This book, of course, has to wait for the online checking business, and this is a very inappropriate piece at hand. But the piece at hand, of course, still, it's very boring, very obtuse, and very large, and as you can tell, it's very bland too. So it's a pretty decent sized piece, as we have 400 pages, 402 we got, so we can round this off and fairly say it's a 400 page waste of time that James D. Hornfield has put out for us in this very comical and fictionalized version of FWT 7. which is an inappropriate, bland nature of the piece at hand. So that's it for Richard Reviews. This is Who Can Hold the Sea, the U.S. Navy in the Cold War, 1945 to 1960, by James D. Hornlight. Richard Reviews.